Once upon a time, not far from anywhere, 4 people lived happily ever after. They were each doing the same things, only differently.
Oh, yay, the night salt is more expensive today than it used to be.
That's rather ripe.
Dinner fat, laddie. It's going to be a broadbreast flour licknick.
Come on now, get Rosie's best potatoes, tomatoes, everything but the greengrocer.
Children, I want you to know your onions.
At the same time, not far from anywhere, there were nearly 60,000 other people also doing the same things, only differently. And they, too, lived happily ever after. Sometimes all these different people did the same things together.
Ho, ho, ho.
But mostly, they did different things by themselves.
Just slightly ahead of my time.
Today, all 60,004 are living happily ever after, and the whole crowd is growing and doing more different things than ever before. And all this happiness and activity stems from one thing they share together: membership. Membership in the horticultural societies of Ontario.
Early in Ontario, you say? That's a blooming pity then, isn't it? What?
Meet Ernie Lerner. Ernie to his friends. Ernie is not only a real bookworm. He soaks up information on his favorite subject anywhere he can find it. Rose Gardner is also a learner, but her greatest passion is competition. Rose loves to be first. Wally Gentleman, like most people, enjoys praise and gets his kicks from the satisfaction of sharing his hobby with everyone. And finally, Daisy Child. Daisy is a born teacher, loves children, and is everybody's grandmother. Ernie, Rose, Wally, and Daisy, 4 typical green thumbers, and 4 of the 60,000 others who belong to Ontario's 250 horticultural societies. Most people have heard of horticultural societies. After all, they've been around for more than a century. Just about every community in the province has one in town or close by. It's strange, with so many horticultural societies across the province for so many years, that many still have the wrong first impression, that these societies are unimportant little clubs where elderly ladies get together to exchange plants. If you're one of these sadly uninformed people, well, don't voice your opinion in front of Ernie Lerner. He belongs. You see, Ernie maybe doesn't fit the classic image, but it so happens he's a very artistic guy and an avid horticulturist. Being new to the growing game, Ernie joined his local society to find out more on the subject from the experts. He hasn't been disappointed. The library, for example, is one which any society would be proud to own. It holds a collection of fact sheets and pamphlets on everything under the sun, and some things that aren't. Books aren't the only source of information available through Ernie's society. Regular meetings and local workshops are very popular. Often one of the members with special knowledge or talent will share it with the rest of the group. Other times, a professional is imported. Ernie, did you know that an oasis is the very foundation of a flower arrangement? It not only holds the moisture, but also holds together the arrangement. And you thought an oasis was found only in a desert. Occasionally, Busloads of enthusiastic horticulturists show up at district functions. A good horticulturist never stays isolated in his own backyard. Nothing is more inspirational and educational than seeing firsthand how the other fellow does the same things you do, only differently. 60,000 people, 250 branches, 16 districts embracing the whole province. And all of these under the watchful guidance of the parent organization, the Ontario Horticultural Association. A winning entry here may compete tomorrow on a different continent. Of course, all this serious business is always well mixed with society sociability. To Ernie, growing things seems like an art or the possession of a green thumb. There are those who will argue that such gifted people really exist. However, growing plants is a science. Tangible elements, light usage, soil analysis, moisture requirements, genetics, and the control of diseases or pesky little insects. All horticultural societies make it their business to keep in touch with the latest that science has to offer. This information is passed on at every opportunity and to anyone who is interested. Ernie Lerner is definitely interested. He grows African violets. Now there's a challenge. According to the book, African violets are supposed to look like this. I wonder where you went wrong. Don't give up, Ernie. One of these days, you'll be a winner. Here's a winner. Rose Gardner, young as she is, has established herself quite a reputation among the folks in her society. For some reason, she seems to command more respect from the men folks than the women folks. But then, after all, Rose is a fantastic gardener. If it's alive, it'll grow for Rose. There's an inside joke among the locals that Rose will show up one day at a competition for vegetables, enter her pet rock, and win. Every day during the growing season, Rose can be found in her garden planting and pruning all sorts of entries, future red ribbons. Rose has a competition every day with herself, trying to get the very best out of every seed, cutting, and bulb. She's the kind of member every society in the province dreams about. People like Rose, with all her enthusiasm, have a way of stimulating even the most indifferent members. If nothing else, she can make them as jealous as an onion in a patch of petunias. Rose uses her time wisely. Nothing is wasted. Even this year's leftovers from the kitchen are recycled in the compost heap. By next spring, they'll be transformed into the kind of soil that Rose knows really grows. And that goes for Rose's roses, too. Yes, Rose, your pride is growing right along with your garden. Most horticultural societies have competitions throughout the year, some several hundred. These competitions may be local, district, or provincial. And just look at the variety. Anything that grows can be entered in the shows. Some folks immortalize their entries with a camera and win a prize for their efforts. Yes, Rose is also a very competent amateur photographer. She has prizes for just about all of these, but as one might expect, the most coveted prize for Rose is still just beyond reach. That trophy for the highest total points in all classes. Someday. Go get 'em, Rosie. Ontario horticultural societies have a motto, Beautify Ontario. There are a couple of ways to interpret this motto. Literally, to make things more beautiful. Or, philosophically speaking, to create beautiful people through a useful hobby, horticulture. Wally Gentleman believes, practices, and is all these things. His interest is in the public interest, which is what horticultural societies are all about. Wally is proud of one of the first big community service projects attempted by his society. Trees were planted along one of the newer streets in town, an ambitious project considering the small number of members at the time. The society has grown right along with those trees, and today both represent a handsome legacy to the community. City planning did not exist way back when. As a result, there are older sections of town where trees may have grown into too much of a good thing. Only God can make a tree, but people can make the best use of those trees with a little scientific planning. Wally's local society has learned that well through the years. As homes, streets, and public utilities keep pace with modern living, so does the tree planting program. Today, with the help of city financing, the program thrives. The society administers the planning in cooperation with public utilities. And of course, the very important job of public relations with residents is ably carried out by Wally and other members of his society. The muscle is provided through the city's works department, which plants up to 80 trees in a day during the peak of the season. These tiny trees will, in a few short years, serve as worthy competition to the power lines which now overshadow them. Having served for years on society committees dedicated to beautifying the community and enhancing the lifestyle of all citizens, Wally and thousands of members like him are keenly aware of the value a horticultural society is to any community, large or small. People like Wally know from experience that friendly competition, whether organized or just in the spirit of keeping up with the Joneses, is a healthy, contagious disease among horticulturists. It's painless, inexpensive, and thoroughly beneficial to all who become infected. Human nature being what it is, whether individuals, families, and homeowners, or large corporations, all are stimulated by pride of ownership and image. Community service projects of Wally Society have increased in size and numbers, and for some years now, the city has entrusted large sums of public money to the society, which assumes responsibility for scores of public plantings in the city. It's difficult to measure mathematically the public service projects of various kinds which are performed by Ontario's horticultural societies. Some societies have only a few dozen members, others several hundred, 2,000 or more. However, in 1 year, the total number of bulbs alone which were planted as a community service exceeded 150,000, or an average of nearly 600 bulbs for each society in the province. There is a saying among horticulturists, young and old alike, that gardening can add life to your years and years to your life. A great statement, and one which prompts most medical men to nod approvingly. Daisy Child won't see 39 again, but then she hasn't experienced 93 yet. Daisy says they're just numbers, and numbers can be juggled. Besides, she hasn't the time to think about age. She's too busy playing with her grandchildren, hundreds of them. Nearly every horticultural society is involved in youth programs. The philosophy is that youngsters who plant don't pull. Every normal youngster enjoys becoming an ad for a laundry detergent commercial. As long as kids are determined to be outside getting grimy, well, it might as well be with good, honest, clean dirt, and the result of doing something useful. Daisy Child and hundreds more society members like her spend countless hours every year planning meetings, workshops, and activities for green thumbers from 6 to 16. Later in the summer, the youngsters can learn to cope with the sweet taste of success, or the bittersweet taste of being second best. Nice thing about all this is, there's always someone like Daisy Child to guide, suggest, encourage, or set you straight. That's what horticultural societies are all about. And that's what life is all about. Ernie Lerner, Rose Gardner, Wally Gentleman, and Daisy Child. Are there really 4 such people? Yes. And they all work, play, and live happily ever after, not far from anywhere, doing the same things, only differently. And all this happiness and activity stems from one thing they all share together: membership. Membership in the horticultural societies of Ontario.